Howdy do, world. It's your girl Majestic. I am living life and I'm living life to the fullest. I'm enjoying life. It is beautiful. It is rewarding. It is peace. It is love. It is satisfaction. It is balance. It is beauty. Life is just life. And I hopped on here today because I wanted to express and explain why God and Satan are at war. Now, to me, I have my own different perspectives of God and Satan. I'm not gonna go into detail right now. Sorry, I'm not gonna go into detail right now on who is who, what is what. But there is a reason that God and Satan is at war, and I'm gonna explain this because it's very like simple. Okay. Now, God represents our higher self, right? It is our knowing, it is our intuition, it is our psychic ability. The opposite of that would be the physicality. It would be something that's already made. It would be something that is physical, which is like stone. It's already been made, right? Well, the problem is with this is that they oppose one another. All right? And a lot of people's God is physicality. A lot of people, which that's not the true creator. Creator is the non-physical, right? Creator is the information that comes to you. It is the creative ability that you feel inside. It is the chi that I spoke about in the last video. It is not of this world. It is outer worldly, but it comes through you. I'm sorry, but a lot of people have had no correct guidance. They had no great parents like I did. Even though my parents were taken out, they I feel like I was one in a million because my parents guided me correctly. And a lot of people just did not get that. And I'm sorry that you didn't. Truly I am. Um but yes, I am. That is what God is the I am in you. Okay? The I am is the presence. The I am is the overseer. And each one of us individually have that. That gives us, and we're all made with the same capabilities. It's just we're swindled out of it. We're talked out of it. But that is the creator. That is what you call God. Is that crown chakra. And some people's crown chakra is negative. Some people's actually the crown chakra cannot be negative, it can be closed off. That's what I just heard. The information that you receive, everyone has had the ability, even the trees, even the animals. We receive information, okay? And then we embody, that's what we all came to do, was exist. But we still are spiritual beings. Now, Satan, on the other hand, is that existence made already. It is that physicality. It is something that the God, the creator, the higher self already made. And so when you start repetitiously involving yourself in what has already been made, you fail to create. And that is the problem with mankind. When you repetitiously regenerate that idea, that creation that somebody made 5,000 years ago. Okay, this is the state of our humanity. We keep regurgitating something somebody made 500,000 years ago. When we were all made to create anew every day. And see, this is the war between God and Satan. Satan wants us to keep regurgitating the flesh. It wants to make this flesh, this world, look so real. Like in my last video, I explained how money can be completely annihilated when you know the Creator. You'll realize that system is played out because you honestly don't need money to manifest. But so many people are bamboozled with that idea that they chase this money, giving up their own chi, giving up their own creativity to create anew. And so Satan is tricky. Satan tricks us into, and I'm not being biblical, I promise you I'm not, because I'm not biblical. But the people have been bamboozled into believing that this is God and Satan. So I'm going to just keep flowing. But Satan's whole thing is to keep you in the cycle of physicality. When you have to kind of disconnect from physicality in order to pull down the manna from heaven, pull down the rain from heaven, pull down creativity, pull down creation from heaven. The creation can only come from heaven. This is why celebrities, this is why, Masons, P. Diddy, they all steal people's manna. They don't have it themselves. They steal it. They steal people's manna because they don't have it themselves. They didn't have the right parents. Their parents was Satariel. Their mother was Satan. And so Satan only wants you to keep chasing physicality, regurgitating what has been made 300,000 years ago. But Creator wants us to create anew every day. We have the ability to create anew every day. And see, the only people that are creating anew is these dorks in high places who keep trying to steal your stuff. Just for the people to think that, oh my God, they made that up. Oh my God, they're so intelligent. But all they're doing is taking what you have. I think it's important that we understand this is the battle between God and Satan. It's our crown chakra versus our bodies. That is God and Satan. And Satan has taken over a lot of people. They are disconnected. Their crown chakra is cut off, shut down. And so all they can do is regurgitate something that's already been made. Already. I have very, very, very good creative ability. People steal my ideas like it ain't funny. The way I wear my clothes. They're so oh, I can't wait to wear it like she wears it. I can't wait to do what she does. And I'm sorry that you lack. But nobody wants to give you what is theirs. That's stupid. Just because you lack, it's not the responsibility of somebody else to pick you up. I don't know who the fuck raised you. Like I said, it's Satariel, and what's his name? Gagiel. That's who fucking raised y'all. The low of the low. The lower chakras. The lowest of the low. That's who raised y'all. They raised y'all without it's like their heads were chopped off all their lives. They never received crown chakra information. And they just kept regurgitating it. And then they made you feel like you don't have to receive crown chakra information. So you just walking like them. I saw how, I guess, Magic Johnson's son talking about women, talking against women and stuff. See, this is that world that the enemy wants to keep recreating. Okay? Women are really God. What you call God, because that women tied to the crown chakra, the intuition. And so these men, these Masons know exactly what they're doing with all this homosexuality. They know exactly what they're doing to God. But then they tell you it's God, it's a man, right? So you study regurgitating worship in the flesh. God is a man, right? A man deals with our lower self. You study regurgitating the lower self. A man deals with our lower self. The woman deals with our higher self. Or you can find this information within, or you can receive this information like I did. Intuition is another worldly type of thing. It doesn't come from this place. And so a man would be something of lower self. And then each one of us, even men, has man and woman inside of them. Men have XY chromosomes, so they don't have as much femininity in them. But they have it. And these Masons and these warlocks, they know just how to tap into that. Only to use that intuition for bad, though. Because like I said, it's Satario or it's Bina. Bina is the higher feminine. Satario is the lower feminine. So you can receive information, but it's like the lower self information. Satario is the lower self information. Oh, well, all you gotta do is like, pretend like you like them, and then, try to get under their skin. Like, it's like guidance, but it's from the lower realms. And it's ultimately out of pure, greed. It's always out of like, I'm going to destroy somebody so that I can take on, or I can look better, or, that's what Satario works out of, and that's just running rampant. And so the fight against God and Satan is man and woman. It's higher self versus lower self. It's whatever you want to call it. It can be black versus white if you hold that belief system. It's whatever you want to call it. But it's what it really is the higher self versus the lower self. And the higher self is what we, like I said, we receive the information and then manifest it. And I'm just going to tell you, since your mother didn't or your father didn't, I'm going to tell you that the more honest you are, the more authentic you are. The more you stand up for authenticity, the more you stand up for honesty and stand up for yourself, because to know thyself is to know God. Well, like the Egyptians, and I don't like calling on God, but the Egyptians would say to know thyself is to know the Creator. And so the more you standing up for yourself, that's the thing that these motherfuckers lack. These celebrities and these Masons, they lack standing up for themselves. So they always cut off from that cloth. They're always going to be cut off because they never stand up for themselves. They just be like, oh, they want me to jump off the bridge. Okay, I'll go jump off the bridge. And I'll prove that I can jump off the bridge so you can give me that money. Then they break a leg and be like, I'm okay. Where's that money? And they know they hurting. They think that their reward is them. They think what they do, just because they're physically rewarded, that what they did was good as gold. Whole time, Creator looking for you to stand up for yourself. Creator looking for you to say no. What? I'm not jumping off that bridge. Are you crazy? See, that's what I do, and that's why these people be mad. Because I always have stood up for myself, no matter what they ask me to do. Always, I always put myself first, and that's what you need to do. Put yourself first. That's all it's going to take. Is the honesty. That is how you began to feel that manna from heaven. That is how you began to become a creator. That is how you began to hear more insight, intuition. You know what intuition does? Intuition gets you out of trouble. Intuition guides you. Intuition is like all knowing. That's why we relate it to God. They say God is all knowing, right? I'm tired of using his name. But that's why we relate it, because it's all knowing. And you become that. So it's like, you know not to speak to somebody who's trying to swindle you, who's trying to lie to you. You just become all knowing. You know, like, your spirit even will tell you, don't go to this place. It doesn't matter if you want it so bad. You want that ice cream or whatever. Don't go. And you gotta listen to yourself. That's how you get rewarded. I promise you. I promise you, that's how you get rewarded, is when you listen to yourself. I promise you. That's what the enemy don't want us to do. That's what the enemy does not want us to do, is follow ourselves. It hasn't clicked for y'all yet. The more you follow, like, the world or the flesh, something that's already been made, you got to ask, why the hell is it already made, and who made it? And what were they thinking? What were they thinking? Because I'm putting my all in this. And so whatever's attached to this will be attached to me. And so you just want to give yourself up like that? Then you wonder why you can't even look in the mirror. You wonder why you got, health issues. You wonder why you not happy inside. You wonder why you got to take somebody else's soul. You wonder why, but you don't want to fix what is right. It's all pretty pathetic. When all you had to do was be honest with yourself. I understand that the world don't want that, but you got to see that there's a reason for that. You got to understand there's a reason for that. Not because you think that you got to do this to prove that you are worthy. But what you really got to do to prove that you are worthy is follow yourself. I promise you. And that's what a lot of celebrities did, like Kurt Cobain. They wanted to follow themselves, even though, like, he did drugs or whatever. But he was trying to chase the truth. Bob Marley wanted to chase the truth. Malcolm X wanted to chase the truth. They were all trying to chase the truth. Like, nah, this don't make me feel right. Myself don't feel right, so I gotta follow that. A lot of people neglect themselves and be like, all right, I'll do, even though this don't feel right. Hell no. Hell no. For me, it was never that. Never that. I kid you not. It would never be that. If my inner self is like, hell no, then I'm like, hell no. That's why I'm gorgeous. That's why I shine. That's why I shine. That's why I glow. I'm rewarded by the heavens because I say hell no.